All right, we're here in Tuscany taking my challenge to become a culinary artisan to the vineyards and the biodynamic farm. This is David.
Hi, man.
Our host for the day. And he says I have to gear up in the proper farm gear. So let's get started. All right, we got our gardening gear on, ready to pick some plants and vegetables. Let's do this.
Let's go.
One important aspect of biodynamic farming is animal life. It's one of the 3 components, and we're gonna pick our own eggs, completely organic, right from the coop to the basket. We're here feeding Erina. I'm learning more about the animal life on the farm and how important it is to the biodynamics and the overall ecosystem. Oh, she is so excited. So I'm learning so much information. Apparently the horns of the bull have some sort of special energy. It literally consumes cosmic energy. He stores it in the blood vessels in his horns, and then this has something to do with the manure, which makes the food taste better. We're gonna learn more about it, but for right now, these are basically magical horns. We're obviously at a beautiful vineyard, but what's really important to tell is the animal life and plant life and how they live in ecosystem and harmony together with the humans' involvement. Part of the reason this place is so robust with life is because of the volcano in the background. It erupted many years ago, and this entire place used to be ocean twice over. So ocean, back to land, back to ocean. So the mineral-rich soil is completely dense with beautiful nutrition for the winery and the plants and the animals.
Yeah, especially minerals, and we have this clay earth, what the wine love it.
And it makes for great photos.
Yeah.
All right, this is our last animal stop on the farm. We have 2 little piglets whose mom died in birth, and he fed them milk, so they think he's his mom. We're gonna call them now, and they should run down the hill. Oh my God! Okay, you gotta know, I can't speak your language, but I can feed your food. Oh God!
So, welcome to the garden.
Oh, this is
my
gorgeous.
dimension. Put plants together who works together. Really fascinated or really interesting to watch.
So we're learning a bit about synergistic farming, the idea of what grows together goes together. So here you have basil and tomatoes, which the basil protects the tomato plants from insects and other pests.
Exactly.
And of course they taste delicious on a menu together.
You like to eat them together?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the plant loves to grow together, and the basil have the special smell. All the animals who maybe like to eat tomatoes smell the basil and say, oh no, I cannot come here.
The thing tying it all and making it grow healthy is the soil, which is, as David was saying, is actually life. So here you have very mineral-rich life, which they've treated, and then you cover it with hay, which protects it from the sunlight, which protects from oxidization happening, as well as the weeds getting sunlight so they can grow. So it has 2 different reasons for being on top of the soil base here. All right, now we're gonna learn what's happening under the soil. These red worms from California, they're 3 times more efficient than any other type of worm. So we're gonna get our hands deep and dirty and see what's going on below the soil.
You can see here, always eating, and the poo become our humus.
So we're here with our hands in the dirt learning about composting, and the way it works is you take 10-day-old organic material from the kitchen, you put it on top of the soil, these little red worms start consuming it, and then what they poop out becomes what they call humus, not the hummus you eat in the kitchen. More like a very efficient, vibrant, mineral grade compost that's used to program the soil around it. This is almost like a computer cell, and it has information in the DNA of the organic material, which you then plant this under some other dirt, and that information gets spread around, which causes this really vibrant community to exist below the surface. So in biodynamic farming, they use a little bit of astrology actually. So based off this calendar here, you have 3 different zones. It tells you what you should be doing in your garden. Is it a rest day? Is it a roots day where you plant some new seeds? Maybe you pick fruit on a specific day. Maybe you trim some leaves. And if you follow this pattern, it supposedly makes the organic material healthier for longer. They grow more in a straight line, and you just bear better fruit and vegetables. So to show you the level of effort these guys put in, this is a water process I've never heard of called dynamization. And the idea is combining order and chaos into water molecules so that the water molecules are literally programmed with a different type of energy so that it helps the plants grow. Churning the water, and it creates a vortex pattern below. And then once it has order, then you spin it the other way and create chaos. And this mashup of molecules, faster?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, and then I stop. Okay. So this is the okay, here we go. So this is the dynamization process. I've just stirred my water molecules. Look how beautiful this pattern is now. So now it's going around in a vortex, and now that my order is settling, I have to go back in and create chaos. So order and chaos for 1 hour with this stick, and now I mash up the water the other way, break up the molecules, and then let it reset. Here we have something incredibly fascinating. This is 1-year-old cow manure that's literally been planted in a cow horn, put in the ground, and the idea is that between the information that the earth is giving and the information that the stars and moon are giving, it combines that information and, more importantly, energy into the manure. 1 year later, you have this hyper concentrated material. It smells super fresh, like the richest dirt ever. The information and molecules from this hyper rich material gets spread out in the water, which is then used on the plants and vegetables, and that's one of the secrets to this style of dynamic farming. It smells like just like the most powerful dirt earth you've ever smelled. You can really smell the minerals in there. It's not poo anymore. Yeah,
Something different.
like a chocolate meatball. We just wrapped up our farm tour, our animal tour. We got our hands in the dirt, have a full understanding of the biodynamic processes, and now we're gonna see how they play out when it comes to winemaking, followed by, of course, wine tasting. We're here in historic Montalcino at a beautiful farm and winery called Podere Le Ripi. This is our good friend, and he's been taking us on a tour. Now we're into the wine. This is an incredible type of wine vine called bonsai, and this is the most dense winery on the planet. 65,000 of these guys in 1 hectare of land. 90% of the work is done by hand, so there's no machines involved. Part of the reason is because these plants are so dense that you need to literally get in them. I can hardly even walk by this guy, taking it from the garden to the cellar to the wine table to see. I can't even get out. I'm stuck here forever. Let's go try some of these bad boys and see how they're made. We're at the cellar, ready to try some of those delicious wines that we just stood in the field with.
Ready, take a big breath.
Wow. Woo! So this is incredible. We're standing in the wine cellar. This entire place was hand-built using nothing but bricks and wood. No metal, so there's no electromagnetic field around it. 40 million stones and bricks were used to construct this. Beyond that, it's actually built looking like a spiral-shaped seashell. It follows Fibonacci's famous golden rule sequence, which is a recurring pattern that you find in nature, in plants, in animal life, and it looks and it's to the exact spec of Fibonacci sequence. We're here at the bottom layer, the basement of this beautiful wine cellar. This is called the Pantheon, the center point of the best wines of this winery. Some of the most fantastic Brunellos are here in these cases. It takes 3 years in the wine barrel, then 1 year in the bottle to produce a Brunello. 20 years for the fruit to grow on the plant. So at least 24, 25 years until you're actually tasting your first bottle of Brunello if you decide to open a winery. We are out of the wine cellar, and you can really appreciate how much effort goes into the whole process. The biodynamic farming into the winemaking, and now they present it. Let's do some wine tasting. All right, so we saw how thoughtful they've been with their ingredients, the farming, the agriculture, all the biodynamic processes that go into what we've tasted today and the last few days. And now we're gonna see it all the way to the finish line and how those special steps go into wine making and hence the wine tasting. All right, we're wrapping up our little wine tasting experience. We tried some of the local wines here, primarily Sangiovese grapes, and something called IGT, which is the typical wine from the Montalcino region. We had some amazing Brunellos, and more importantly, the infamous bonsai wine. That's what we came for, that's what we got. I'm satisfied. All right, folks, if you enjoyed that, please like the channel, subscribe to it below. We're wrapping up here with David, who's just shown us incredible farm-to-table methods of agriculture and winemaking. We're gonna continue the Italian adventure as I go on my quest to become a culinary artisan, learning everything there is to know about farming, agriculture, cooking, and more wine tasting. We're out. Later, brother.
Yeah.
I'm taking these with me. I'm gonna need them.